I'm attorney Justin Clark. Coming up just ahead on You Have Real Estate. Many of you are concerned about another financial collapse, and you don't want to buy a house because you're afraid of what happened in 2008 could happen again. I will give you my opinion on will there be another financial collapse just ahead on You Have Real Estate.
Welcome to You Have Real Estate with attorney Justin Clark.
And welcome to another edition of You Have Real Estate with me, attorney Justin Clark. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned investor, or looking to sell your home, this next 30 minutes is designed for you. Think of it like hitting multiple open houses, all from your living room, with my attorney advice throughout the way. If you have any questions whatsoever, give us a call, 407-205-0400. Plenty of information is on the website as well, youhavepower.com. It's youhavepower.com. I have people standing by right now to answer any question that you may have. We have great interviews today with several different real estate agents, and we're going to take you on tours of many different homes, so stick around. The next 30 minutes is going to be amazing. But first, it's time for my opening statement. The question I'm most asked by you is this: Justin, are we going to have another epic real estate collapse? And maybe I am the guy you should ask that question too, because we've represented some 15,000 people who went through foreclosure. 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It was the biggest collapse we've ever seen, certainly in our lifetimes. Instead of giving you the long-winded answer, are we going to see another collapse like we did in 2008? The simple answer is this: no. I don't see how any way in the world we can go through the same type of collapse in anyone watching this program right now's lifetime. It's not going to happen. Now, sure, is the real estate market going to level out? Yes. Could it even decline a little bit? Sure, it could. But I do not see it happening again, going through what we went through in 2008. So do not let the fear of 2008 prevent you from buying a house. What really scares me is that you're going to let that fear keep you as a renter, right? No one wants to rent. No one wants to pay someone else's mortgage to live. The rental rates right now are incredibly high for the same house. Unequivocally, the same house, your rental rate is going to be significantly more than the mortgage that you're going to pay. So don't let the collapse of 2008 keep you from buying a home and paying someone else's mortgage. If you have any questions, 407-205-0400. If you're starting that house hunt, we have great realtors on the show today who can help you, and I have great mortgage people standing by to pre-qualify you so you can start that house hunt this weekend. Joined today by two friends of mine. I haven't seen you in a while. It's JR and Holly Kroll. Welcome to the show. Holly, how are you?
How are you?
JR, good to see you, buddy. How you been?
Thanks.
You are with JR Kroll Realty. Now, if I had a vote, I would have called it Holly Kroll Realty, but that's fine. And we'll go with JR. No big deal. What are some things, guys, that you would say separate Kroll Realty from some of the other shops out there?
We're just a small boutique brokerage here in Sanford, so we specialize mostly in houses that are going to be 300s to a million is kind of where we are. We have 14 agents that work with us.
You have 14?
Yeah.
Oh
14
man,
agents.
Good job. I didn't know you had that many over there.
Yeah. So we've been growing, and we have an office there in Sanford, and just been really moving along and sticking with Sanford. We do seeing a lot of growth in there, and but other part we do every other part also, but mostly in the Sanford Lake Mary area.
So you do a lot of work, Holly, I know, in Sanford Lake Mary. How are the school systems in Seminole County?
Well, everybody knows they're here mostly in Seminole County for the schools. We've just got the best schools in the state, and so it makes the sale a lot easier
Yeah.
when we know that we've got the schools covered, and of course then the rest is how they like the house. So
Right.
we're very, very fortunate in the area that we're concentrated.
If I'm a buyer, what can I do to research the school systems and the potential house I'm looking to buy? Is there anything I can do to really find out the quality of the school system?
Yeah, there's a school grades website, which is what I use. I'm a mom, so I did the same thing. I did the same research when we moved to North Seminole County. And it has a lot of information. It's almost like a Yelp, where people make comments, and, you kind of have to decipher through the good and bad. Not everybody has the best experiences. Of course, there's, one of the other things you can do is go on Facebook and just type in the school's name and see what the parents say,
Sure.
And reach out that way. The county has a great school. Look up, realtors use all the time, what school will this property go to, and that helps out too.
JR, Al Gore invented this thing recently called the internet, right? You've heard of it? You've heard of the internet, I guess. So a lot of home buyers now start their house hunting on the internet, no doubt about it. So oftentimes, maybe if you have a listing, you're going to get contacted directly by not another agent, but by someone who's just researching on the internet. Do you think as a home buyer, I should use my own agent to go out there and shop for homes, or should I just reach out to the listings that are out there?
I mean, obviously, if you have your own agent, you should be using them for any showings or what, because it's not fair to even, let's say, a listing agent that, another agent, you ask them to show their property, their listing, they have to split a commission, and then your own agent just writes a contract and collects half a commission without doing all their work they're supposed to, and you really want them there too. I just, with the listings, they should definitely just use, their own agent, if they're going to be looking at properties.
What do you think, Holly?
Well, yeah, I definitely agree, because you're hiring that person to work for you. My client, I would know what my client wants and what they're looking for. If I call directly to the listing agent, you might not know. Now, the listing agent is going to know the most about the property, and I would appreciate if a buyer's agent contacted me prior to and said, what else can you tell me? What's the story in this house? And then I know that they really care about the client, and that I'll have a better buyer in turn, because they're very informed about the house, and they're not, all of a sudden like, oh, well, I didn't know about this, this, and this, and, I wrote the contract, but now 5 days later I'm going to cancel because I didn't have all the information from the other agent.
I think one of the big questions, whether you're buying or selling property, is closing cost, and I think it depends on where you live, who pays what. If you're working with the seller and you're really preparing them for how much they're going to pay in closing cost, what do they have to pay as a seller?
As a seller, I mean, you're going to figure there's going to be the real estate commission, obviously, that can range from, 4.5% to 6%, 7%. It's all negotiable from a buyer or a selling standpoint. And then there's also going to be doc stamps and title fees that are going to be included in there. So that's about another, 2 to 3% of the purchase price that's included on top of there, that it's not part of your real estate commission. So the realtor doesn't get anything from that.
Sure.
It's just other costs.
What about a buyer? What closing costs are there for the buyer?
Well, they're going to have the lending closing costs. So they're going to, depending on the lender, usually you're doing 2%, approximately of 1 to 2% of the value of the home for lending costs, and that's once again their own title fees they have to pay also. So it's definitely, there's costs involved. I mean, usually a good breakdown, of a net sheet to show exactly what's owed, when you're going to come to closing, and how much money you're going to need is a good thing to have.
So I'm thinking about selling my home. Let's say I'm going to list it for $300,000. I'm not going to accept a penny less than $300,000. Is there sort of a cheat sheet in your head on what percentage I'm paying in closing costs? I know the real estate commission is going to be 6%, pretty much. The other things, what do they normally add up to? Do you tell your seller, think about 8% or 10%? What's the cheat sheet on this?
Yeah, I mean, you would say probably like 6 to 8%. You could say that would be, depending on what the commission would be, because obviously that's flexible, but there's not going to be a flex on the, the state is not going to take less on their taxes.
Yeah.
I heard title fees
that.
There, that's just what title fees are. Those are regulated by the state also. So, really those fees can't really change.
When you go buy a bike, right, you talk to the bike sales guy a little bit and you get to know each other for a moment, but then you ride the bike off into the sunset. You probably don't talk to him again. You go to the grocery store, nice cashier, but they don't have a real effect on your life. A real estate transaction, the relationship between real estate agent and client, whether it's a seller or a buyer, tell me about that relationship.
Oh, in a lot of cases, it's a lifelong friend. It makes it a lot easier now with social media. We can keep constant connection. Of course, Christmas cards and all that stuff. But really, I mean, it's not just a sale to us. It's very emotional. Sometimes this is the house that they have their children in, and, all the memories and holidays and all that stuff that goes along with it. So people that we've done transactions with, we still talk and see them today, and it's really, I think that's what drove me to the business in the first place, is that emotional connection.
I'm not talking trash about bicycle sales guy by any means. Don't get the wrong idea, but I just know that there is a closer relationship when
Absolutely.
it comes to with real estate agent and client, no doubt about it. Holly Kroll, JR Kroll, you're going to take me on a tour now. Are you ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
Sure.
All right, so this first property here, Ross Lake, what an interesting property. I know exactly where this is. Holly, tell me about Ross Lake.
So I really just love this property. It's so unique. It's over in West Sanford. You wouldn't even know it's there. It's kind of tucked way back. It's actually on the lake. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath log cabin style lakefront home. It's on a 1.5 acre lot in West Sanford. It's very well maintained. The home features a 2-story stone wood burning fireplace, has wood ceiling beams, laminate floors throughout, a brand new butcher block countertop in the kitchen, and a huge 40 by 15 covered patio. It's meticulously cared for and decorated. When you're there, you feel like you're vacationing in the Carolinas somewhere. So it's just really neat. So after all the hustle and bustle on I-4, it's great to come home to a house like this and feel like, oh, I'm on vacation.
Now, is the HOA president going to come by and complain about my yard in that property?
No, because there is an HOA, but it's not a mandatory HOA. There's a small fee. I think it's about $50 a year that just covers, taking care of the pretty entrance in the front of the neighborhood. So, no, you can pretty much do what you want.
I mean, but you're really close to the highway right there too. You can get on I-4 in 2 minutes.
That's right.
I mean, that's really a great property.
You've got I-4. You've got State Route 429 with that connector right there, so you can get over to the Disney in that area really quickly. You got 417. So really, where this property is, you can get anywhere.
If you want to see this property, give Holly Kroll a call, 407-205-0400. We'll also post it for you, Holly, on our website, youhavepower.com. That is an awesome property. I mean, I think you described it perfectly. It's like going to the mountains of North Carolina, but right off of Interstate 4.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, J.R. Kroll, now you're going to take us to Swallowtail. Where's this?
Swallowtail.
Swallowtail. Sorry.
Yeah. Actually, we have a little special neighborhood for this one because it's actually the neighborhood we also live in. This is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's built in 2005 or 6. I didn't write that part down. It is a gated community, Tudor style, waterfront. Been completely redone by the homeowners. They came in there. I actually sold it to them as a short sale when they bought it, and then they came and called us back years later. And after they fixed it up, and they put all new laminate floors inside. The kitchen has Corian, all new appliances, all new carpet, repainted in and out, and just beautiful waterfront property.
And I think waterfront is. Sometimes it's a big lake, sometimes it's just a pond like that, but waterfront a lot of times means no rear neighbor,
exactly.
Right? And that makes a big difference in a neighborhood like that when you're somewhat on top of each other. No rear neighbor makes all the difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially in Seminole County, there's so many, in the price range that you find something priced like this one at $369.9. It's it's a great deal because having most neighborhoods now, you're going to be looking at right about backing up to a fence or your neighbor behind you. And Astor Farms is pretty unique that way.
Yeah. How's the HOA fees there?
It's $1,100
for the
$275 a quarter.
No, I mean, that's not too bad either. Do you know what all they do for that?
It's just a maintenance on the outside, like not your actual lawn, but the grounds, which is quite a big property. We have a gate. Mm-hmm. So that takes up quite a bit of money too, and then there's of course fountains and such that we do. I'm actually on the HOA board.
Oh,
too,
really? Sorry about that.
And I should know the.
He's
amount.
the guy driving around. Your mailbox needs painting, sir.
Yeah,
you're that guy. No, come on. I hate that. What's the neighborhood like demographic wise? A lot of kids, older people. What's it like?
A lot of families. Yeah, definitely a lot of families in there because it's all. The size of the homes are typical around 3,000 square feet. This one here is kind of a little bit smaller than the usual in there, so it's in a price point that's better. Most of them are in the 400s and up. So it's much larger homes though.
And price point one more time.
$369.9 is
Not
the
too
asking
bad.
on this one.
If you have any questions about this home on Swallowtail, give J.R. Kroll a call, 407-205-0400. Again, we'll post that one as well on the website, youhavepower.com. JR, I know you're coming back in a minute for the Real Estate Roundtable. Holly Kroll, excellent job. You got to come back on the show again, okay?
Okay.
And if you want me to talk to him about this whole J.R. Kroll real estate, I'd be happy to work on it.
Well, we tried to drop the JR, but there's another similar company out there.
Is that right?
Yes.
Now, our next guest today is someone I've wanted to have on the show for a while because I'm always interested in these huge neighborhoods that are popping up. You know them. It's the D.R. Horton, these big builders, and they've got all the flags in front of the neighborhood. And I've always really wondered what goes on when you go into one of these neighborhoods. But most importantly, I've always wondered if that whole $300,000 price tag is really $300,000 once you get the new cabinetry and all the upgrades. How does it really work when you buy from the builder? Is that price tag really the actual price tag, or is it by the time you leave it's another $150,000 because you want floors in your house? And that's why we brought a very special guest in today, Catalina Pennant. How are you?
Good morning, I'm doing great.
eXp Realty. I've seen a lot of eXp lately.
Growing.
I mean, what's going on over there? What's this eXp difference?
The eXp difference, I think, is the system and the opportunities we have. A lot of different ways that you can recruit new people, the profit shares that we have in the system and the virtual offices. It's pretty great. I've been with eXp for a little bit over a year, and I love it.
So I know you have a lot of experience working with builders. So you've actually been in these new developments, and you've talked to people who are coming there to purchase a house directly from the builder. Have you worked on the sales center side too? I know you're independent now, but have you actually worked in the sales center before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so tell me how it really works. When I come in there, are you going to tell me what the price is for everything after upgrades, or are you going to kind of give me the base price, and then I've got to really be careful about the upgrades because it's going to make the house way, way, way more expensive?
Okay, so it depends if you go to a custom builder or not, but how it works, if you come in, a sales agent is going to greet you and most likely show you the model home that you're in. At that point, they're required to disclose if that's the standard, that's how the home comes, or those are upgrades, and just show you the list of included features, to say so, what would come at the base price.
So let's just be honest here. What's normally in the base price? Are we talking about like we don't even have floors, or is it mostly everything in the base price?
No, there's certain things that you can get upgrades for depending on what builder you're going with.
Give me some examples.
Also, so some of them include appliances, some don't. Some appliances are stainless steel, some are black. It could be granite countertops or not, but that's something that the sales agent would definitely disclose at the first visit.
So you were always pretty clear with the people walking in that, look, I know it says
Correct.
$269, but that's not including the granite, and because the model probably has all the upgrades, I imagine, right?
Most of the times, yes.
So you walk in, my fear is this, you walk in, you see the model home. The model home is not $269,000, the model home's $400 because of all the upgrades. So what do you think about this? Do you believe that house shoppers who are going in to see a builder should go in without an agent by themselves, or should they take a real estate agent with them, and does that cost them more money?
So I definitely recommend taking a real estate agent with them. I've worked, as you well said, both sides, and we always do have to disclose on representing the builder that I do represent the builder, and everything will be disclosed in writing. But if you choose to have a realtor, that person will be representing you, and this way it's just more people working together. It's a smoother transaction for the buyer.
Gotcha. Now, when I go into one of these developments, D.R. Horton, whoever, and there's a bunch of big builders around here, and they seem to be popping up left and right now again, so there's definitely a lot of real estate out there and new developments
Yes.
out there. I know a lot of times that the developer, the builder, likes to suck them in and make them do the mortgage work and the title work there as well. Why is that?
Most builders do have their own mortgage and title company, and what they try to do is just keep it all together and offer incentives to buyers if they choose to go with their mortgage company and their title. They're not required to, but that's the way that you can receive the incentives, and most of the times it goes towards closing costs.
What are the incentives typically?
Usually towards closing costs, and sometimes it could be a few different upgrades, but mostly closing.
Generally speaking, when I walk into the model, right, it's going to have all the upgrades like we talked about earlier. I mean, is your experience that normally the base price that I'm given when I first walk in is not including any of that, or has it gotten better than since when I was shopping?
It definitely got a lot better, and
Okay.
it's more open, like you said earlier, with the invention of internet. The buyers are a lot more knowledgeable, so they do their research online before they even visit the community. The prices do say starting at, and at that point you say this is the price. It includes the lot and this home, this floor plan, and then moving forward, what else is included and whatnot.
If you're watching right now and you would like to go see some of these new developments, Catalina Pennant is fantastic. She's worked for the developer, she's worked for the builder. Now she's here to work for you, to take you to see these properties. 407-205-0400. The website, youhavepower.com. Now, I know that you have a property that you really like down in Davenport. It's a D.R. Horton property. I think it's called Orchid Grove. Is that right?
That's the name of the community.
And I know
yes.
that we have a couple of different models that you'd like to show our audience here. Let's do the Cali model first. Tell me about the Cali model.
So the Cali model is actually a great single-story open floor plan home. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. It has a 2-car garage. As you can see here in these pictures, those are standard included options in the Cali model. Is the granite countertop, the stainless steel appliances.
So that's included.
That's included.
Can you tell I'm a lawyer and I've had people come in and say, Justin, I
Just
thought I
wanna
was
make
getting
sure.
all the upgrades and I didn't get any upgrades. So I'm just seeing the other side of it. That's
Yes.
all. That's why I want to be clear with people.
Yeah, those are included. The granite countertops, the stainless steel appliances, and like I said, this is a great open floor plan. It's a single-story home, so those are in high demand, to say so. It's a great starting home or to retire in home.
And I'm sorry, how much was the Cali model?
$235.
Oh, that's pretty good,
Yes.
huh? So Davenport, what's going on down there? A lot of people don't know Davenport that well. I think it's Polk County, but it's
It
really
is.
not that much further than like Disney World, really, is it?
No, it's about 30 minutes from Disney, 45 minutes from Orlando, and 45 minutes from Tampa, so you're kind of halfway. What's going on in Davenport is that Cali model at $235 would not be happening in Orlando.
No doubt about it.
So
Yeah, I mean, the $235, your mortgage payment, don't quote me on this, but your mortgage payment's probably $1,200. I mean, you certainly couldn't rent the house for less than $1,800, I would imagine. So yeah, if you work down in that area, it's not a bad place to go check out for sure. All right, we have another model. What's this other model called?
this other model is the Gallon. This is a 2-story home. What's nice about this home is that it has a flex room downstairs that could be converted into an office room or another bedroom. This is, again, a really nice open floor plan. It has included granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, and this one is 2,432 square feet.
Okay. And price point on this one?
$255.
$255. So again, you're looking at $1,200, $1,300 on your mortgage payment. You can't rent the 1-bedroom apartment in Orlando for $1,300 anymore. It's crazy. So please, if you're interested in seeing some of these brand new, never lived in homes, right?
Never lived in.
Down in Davenport at Orchid Grove, give us a call right now, 407-205-0400. We'll put these on the website as well. youhavepower.com. Good job, Catalina Pennant. You're going to stick around for the Real Estate Roundtable, right?
Will do.
And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Real Estate Roundtable. If you have any questions whatsoever, go to our website. You can ask me the questions right there, youhavepower.com, and we might answer your question next week on You Have Real Estate. Let's go down to Pilar in Lake Mary. J.R. Kroll,
Yes.
How long should I wait before dropping the price, and how much do I drop it?
Well, it's kind of a tough question because
Blame Pilar.
so yeah, if the house is priced correctly the first time, honestly, in Lake Mary, Sanford, you probably won't have to reduce the price. There's plenty of full price offers coming in. Now, a lot of sellers will try to overprice and say, I want to go higher because leave room for negotiation, which I never recommend. I said, right now it's a hot market. Price it right the first time. It'll sell full price within weeks. If you try to go too high, it'll sit, you'll wait, it'll get stale, and then you're going to have to start doing reductions. And at that point, you've lost your leverage as a seller. So it's probably, I would say, if you were just going to price it and you're not seeing the action you want, I usually say give it like 2 weeks. And if you're not seeing the number of showings you really need to see, then you would say, okay, now's a good time to
I mean,
think of it.
as a realtor, do you kind of get a good feel, like, I'm not getting any calls on this property whatsoever. Something's wrong. The price is wrong. You get a feel for it?
Usually you know when you walk the property. You
Yeah.
would say, oh, there's a highway behind it. That's going to be the issue.
Right.
But, in most times, if you sometimes you get there and just say, I don't know what the problem is. And it could be as simple as, there's no downstairs bedroom or, something just off on the house that someone, when they go see it, because I've had it where we had tons of showings and then you just realize it's something a little strange on the house that's making people not want to put an offer.
Got it. Maria in Orlando asks, how accurate is Zillow? The $1 million question.
Well, I'm a realtor, so I'm a member of NAR.
Yeah.
It's fairly accurate, but to a certain point, I would say don't go and buy a house just because you saw it on Zillow. It might not be active anymore. It may have an offer in. Always consult a realtor.
J.R. Kroll, Zillow.
I disagree.
You can bash it. Yeah, please.
I think the pricing on it. I mean, there is times when it'll come in close to what it is, but Zillow doesn't calculate for if it's a lakefront home, if it has a swimming pool, if it has all these options that could have, or something like you said, just strange of one house is 1 story, another one's a 2-story. They just go by square footage within a radius of the property is how they determine it. So you might be looking at houses in there that are going to say per square foot in a neighborhood, but that doesn't ever equal up. Even appraisers don't do it that way. They back it up the other way. They say we're going to adjust it first and then make the square foot equal that way. So to me, Zillow's numbers are just pulling a number out of a hat. It's really.
John in Longwood says, and there's a million websites, we know this, but John's question is, what website should I go to start my hunt for properties? Catalina.
Well, most people do go to Zillow, Realtor. We all use those just for comparison anyway. But an official MLS site is what I recommend, unless you work with a realtor and you've worked with a realtor before. You should always discuss with them first.
J.R. Kroll, what website should I go to when I start my house hunt?
If you're just preliminary looking at something, I'd say Realtor.com is the most accurate. That's going to have the most information up to date. It's updated directly from the MLS feed, whereas the information even on Zillow right now, if you have a house that's pending, it just shows that in the MLS area in Orlando, it doesn't come as pending. It just says off market. So they had some kind of disagreement with the MLS, and now they can't put it as even pending.
In 30 seconds, another crash ahead?
No.
Another crash ahead?
Probably not.
Don't stress. I don't see, and you can disagree with me, of course, but I don't see another crash happening. Could the market level out? Could it dip a little bit? Yes. Are we going to see what happened in 2008? In my opinion, there's no chance in our lifetime. So don't stress. Look, if you're looking to buy a home, don't let the crash of 2008 prevent you or make you fearful of buying, because I think now is a fantastic time to buy. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Attorney Justin Clark. If you have any questions whatsoever about anything we talked about or any property we showed you in this show today, 407-205-0400. If you want to get a pre-approval letter, I have people standing by right now at that same phone number. They would be happy to help immediately, so give us a call. I'm Attorney Justin Clark, and I'll see you next week for another edition of You Have Real Estate.
If you have a question you would like answered on an upcoming episode of You Have Real Estate with Attorney Justin Clark, call 407-205-0400.
Are you considering selling your home and would like to have it featured right here on our show? Or would you like to get pre-approved for a mortgage to buy your dream home? Give us a call, 407-205-0400. You Have Real Estate.